Are riches worth having? See, in this life, having riches and the such, well, there is always going to be controversy over everything because confusion is good. Confusion sells, and well, confusion buys. Well, see, when people are confused, they will easily buy into anything so that they don't stay confused anymore. Because people who are miserable, they easily become obsessed with stability, with knowing things, because this idea of knowledge gives you a certain sense of power, which is basically illusionary. See, when you are born into this world doesn't have any debt towards you, you don't have any debt towards the world. Even if religions and the such kind of may give you some ideas. And narcissistic societies will always teach you that you're always bound, you're always indebted to society to give, right? Because that's what narcissists want. They want you to give but never take, right? If you look at human behavior nowadays, you'll see everyone feels like giving, but it's so shameful and bad when they would receive, right? So riches are good to have because if you live life, riches are good. It will always be good. People say money can't buy happiness, but if money can't buy happiness, I'm telling you, poverty won't either, right? If you choose to stay impoverished, if you choose to impoverish yourself, well, that's a huge problem. Because honestly, it's like saying, would you like to be miserable or would you like to be blissful, right? Don't be surprised, a lot of people will say they want to be blissful, but they will invest all their energy into their misery, right? Because that is the point of a sick society. They want you to be miserable, they want you to be proud of your misery, and then they want you to beg even more. That's how narcissism functions. So, another similar aspects of madness, right? And well, a sick society is obviously nothing else but the result of the few people who impose things upon others, because a miserable person wants everyone else to be at least as miserable as them, even more miserable, so that they can have that only happiness, right, that they think they can have. The only happiness of a miserable person is that you're even more miserable than them, right, so that they can make fun of you. So see, riches aren't a bad thing in a way. Riches, if you have them, it is gonna make your life somewhat better. But riches come when you provide value. See, people who are rich, but not only financially, because it's not hard to make money nowadays. I mean, yeah, sure, to a lot of people who are stuck in the idea that they have to work a job, getting rich will always sound impossible. But if you provide society with things that they need, and there are a lot of ways through which you can do that, well, getting money is not gonna be a hard point. But money can also be taken from even faster things like prostitution, for example. You go to Twitch as a girl and you can do soft porn on Twitch or other such social media, and guess what, you can get some money. But money is an energy. How you receive money in your life is gonna have a great influence, because when you receive money in life, see, money has to have a certain importance. Don't just accept money just because it is money, right? Because are you the one using money or are you being used by money, right? You have to be a master of your own life. If life masters you, well, you're just like an animal. You're gonna live in survival. When you live in survival, your impulses, your physical body, every insecurity you have is basically your master, right? When you become wiser, you know that circumstances in life, you don't have control over those. You can control a few, but you can't control everything. So obviously focus on those which you can control. Because society, and especially life, will throw things, but not specifically at you. It's not that God there does everything possible to make your life miserable. That's what narcissists want you to think of, so that you constantly think about how to make yourself suffer more and more. See, even music nowadays, it's all about suffering, my love left me and all sorts of idiot ideas like this, right? And it's all about suffering and showing how much you suffer, because that's what they want from you. They want you to be an idiot who simply suffers constantly, because that's what makes them glad. That's what gives them a certain sense of power. No one owns anything in this world. You don't believe me? Well, wait till you die. Once you will be away from this body, you won't recognize anyone. Say you're gonna be at your funeral and there's gonna be all your relatives there. The first second you are starting to leave your physical body, you're disconnected instantly from the mind that you have, right? What you call as the brain, discriminatory mind, whatever you wanted. It belongs to this physical body. The very second you start detaching from it, you're no longer connected to those. You'll see the auras or whatever you'll see regarding your relatives and the such, they will have no meaning to you anymore. And in this case, they literally will have no more meaning. Who they were with you, their names, whatever, it's not gonna be a thing because they are suddenly just other beings. And every business you had with the world is over. That's a way to simply live life because, well, a lot of people are living in a way like that because they're miserable and nothing and no one matters to them. But if you do that in a conscious way, it's gonna be somewhat enlightening, right? Now, riches, money, tools, these are all just tools, let's say. They can make your life better or they can make your life worse. If you idolatrize the tools, obviously they will make your life worse or it would stagnate, right? Because if you're an idiot, well, you can't go any lower usually. So basically, riches and the such, they're just an amplifier, right? You give riches to a wise person, well, they will probably invest it in becoming even wiser, right? If you give them to a generous person, they will probably become a bit more generous. If you give them to an idiot, you'll definitely make a bigger idiot, right? That is the point with money, riches, and the such. How you make use of it? Well, that is up to you. You have to understand, life is a balance in between altruism and egotism. But balance almost never means 50-50. That is only in, certain situations. But in a society, if you want to be 50% altruistic, well, good luck with that in a narcissistic environment. They will eat you alive. In some situations, you probably have to be 10% altruistic and 90% egotistical. Because you have to understand the foundation of your life is egotism in a way. Because if things don't go well in your life, you're not gonna be too capable or suitable to give to others. Because if you become a ruin and want to give to others, like, you're not gonna be a good example, right? It's like you're gonna speak to others like how bad smoking, for example, is. You can hold them, hours on end of documentaries on chemistry and substances, chemicals, and whatever is harmful in cigars, but in the meantime, you're smoking 3 packets of cigarettes, right? So basically, it's like making fun of yourself, right? Always make an example of what you do, because what you speak also has to be correlated with what you do, right? That is why miserable people who kind of always become nothing else but ruins, see, they're rarely gonna be listened by others and they're gonna crumble to their loneliness. Because if you're a ruin, why would someone else who's probably a ruin, or, well, they're not a ruin, they're wise, why would they listen to you? Why would I ever take a ruin as an example? Hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. You're appreciated. Take care. Enjoy life. This being said, you're appreciated. Ferenc Board signing out.